Arlie joined us now, part of the Lisbon wrestling dual team that's heading to state. Arlie, I've asked your teammates this with the first question. Just what does it mean to be part of the first team in program history that's making its way to state as a dual team?
Pretty cool. It's just how early girls wrestling has been, and it's just like come so far, and it's just really exciting that we actually get to go to state, and yeah, it's just exciting.
What are you most looking forward to once you kind of get to that Fargo for that state dual tournament, on that Saturday morning?
Um, I'm just excited for all of, like just the excitement, like the feeling that wow we're at state. It's just all the feelings going through your body.
As we go from there, is there a particular wrestling tournament that you've competed at that you've enjoyed the most? Whether it's a team tournament, it could be an individual tournament. Is there one out there that you kind of really enjoyed this past year or two?
One of my favorites are like our dual tournament that we hosted this Christmas. It just feels so much more scheduled, which I like a kind of a schedule, and just like when you're wrestling, and yeah, it's just really nice.
Take us through the dual tournament too, because you got to see some Minnesota flavor that came in. You got to see some different teams. Was that part of the reason too? You're not seeing the same wrestlers, so to speak, across from the mat for you every weekend. Was that part of it?
It was really nice to have other teams that we didn't get to know, and just different like skill levels and just different skills that we may not have seen. And we also went to a different Minnesota tournament too. That was also really nice to see everyone's different skills and that stuff.
Early for you, how long have you kind of been in wrestling, and what made you kind of want to give wrestling an opportunity?
This is my third year wrestling, and something that just made me want to go is my dad's been in wrestling forever. And when we moved here, my brother got into wrestling, and it seemed like a pretty cool spot. So I just wanted to give it a try.
Safe to say wrestling gets talked about at the dinner table, or how much does it get talked about, so to speak, and just day to day, week to week conversation?
Yeah, I say we talk about it every day. It's one of just the main topics we bring up because our family loves watching it, and just we go over some moves at home and that stuff, and try not to break things.
Speaking of moves, is there one particular move that you enjoy? I'm not trying to, give out any secrets here, Arlie, but is there one or two particular moves that you like to try to throw out on the mat?
When I get on top, I mostly go for that cradle, and I like hitting some firemen's here and there and some low singles.
This is always a fun question to ask some wrestlers too. Is once you get through state, sometimes your diet obviously changes in season and out of season. Is there a particular food group or some type of food that you're looking to enjoy once the state wrestling tournament kind of wraps up?
I have some gelato stashed in my freezer waiting for me.
Favorite particular subject in school would be what? What do you enjoy really learning about?
One of my favorite classes that took me by surprise is accounting.
Why did accounting kind of take you by surprise? Weren't you expecting to like numbers as much, so to speak?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I just took it as like a class to have. But I didn't really enjoy it.
Final thing for me, Arlie, here. Why should someone give wrestling a try? What is the reason they should try it out in Lisbon or in their respective school district?
I think they should try it out because it's just a great team to have, and it's definitely a hard working. So you can have that throughout your whole life. Just know that you're a hard worker, and just keep that with you.
Arlie, thanks so much for your time and best of luck at state.
Thank you.
Join us here, part of the state wrestling girls dual preview here for the Broncos as Scout Addison and Maddie join us. And let's start with Maddie. What does it mean to be part of the first team that has made their way to a state dual tournament here for girls wrestling?
It's really fun, and it just seems like a great experience to go and experience it in my first year of high school wrestling.
Same question to you, Addison. Just take us through the emotions of that Saturday, in Grand Forks, knowing that you're making another, weekend, so to speak, with the team as a dual member and making your way to the Fargo Dome.
I am really excited to be with my team, to wrestle all together, be in state all together, make more memories with each other.
For you, Scout, similar question. Just what does it mean to be part of that first team to kind of get over that hump and get there as a dual team member?
I think it's really awesome, especially wrestling with these girls last year. I think it's great to go to stay with them.
For you, Scott, what does it mean to be part of this Lisbon wrestling program? I know you still got some more time this season with this club, but what does it mean to be part of this year's team?
Uh, I think it's really fun and cool, and I just like wrestling with these girls.
Similar question, Addison. What's a trait or characteristic that you best like about this year's Lisbon Broncos squad?
We always try to make stuff like fun or try to learn some more stuff or um, yeah, just that.
Maddie, for you, just take us through your journey into wrestling. You mentioned, first year with this program. So just kind of how did you get involved with it and kind of take us through your journey a little bit.
I started wrestling in kindergarten, and then we got a high school team, and I just kept going from there.
Why should someone give wrestling a try here, Maddie? Why should someone, give the sport an opportunity?
You can meet a lot of friends, and you'll make friends with just other teams, and you get to experience a fun time with these girls.
Addison, similar question. Just kind of take us through your wrestling journey. How long have you been part of the squad and been kind of a wrestler here?
I've been wrestling since third grade, so 6 years. I learned a lot of new moves. I learned how to protect myself. I learned how to make more friends. Um, yeah.
And why should someone give wrestling a try?
Same as Maddie, you get to make more friends, you get to have fun, and yeah, you just learn a lot of new things, which I like.
As Scout, similar question. How long have you been a wrestler here with the program?
I've been here since like second grade, and I joined because I always look up to my sister, and she like did it.
And then just take us through why should someone be a wrestler in your eyes? Why should they give it a try?
Because I think it's like different from other sports because you get to go like do tournaments and duels, and like it's like individual, but like it's a team thing, so like you can have success in your own way.
As Scout, for you, what's a favorite tournament that you've been competing at? Could be dual, can be individual. What's one of your favorite tournaments that to compete at and over the course of the season?
I really like the Bemidji one. Even though it's a really long drive, I like just chatting and making friends with other people. And I don't know, it's really fun.
Addison, similar question. Just kind of what is your favorite particular tournament to compete in?
I like the Rumble on the Bread. It's like a big tournament. It's really fun. Um, there's like a lot of matches, so you can watch matches as you watch another match, and there's so many matches that it's really fun to watch all of them at the same time.
Maddie, same question. Just kind of what's one that you kind of circle, so to speak, once you see it on the schedule that you look to compete in?
The Bell of the Brawl. A lot of fun matches, a lot of tough competition. It's basically a mini state, so you get ready to see the competition you'll see at state when you make it, and you're just ready for it, and you see friends a lot.
From here, just taking a look at, I always like to ask wrestlers this question. I know it's different for everybody, but for you, Maddie, is there a particular food group that has been away from your diet that you're looking to devour kind of once the season gets done? Anything that you've kind of stayed away from the last couple months that you're looking to, so to speak, enjoy once state wrestling is all said and done?
Candy, so basically just sugar.
Basically, any kind of candy. Are we talking Hershey's? Are we talking sweets? What are we talking about here?
Basically like any chocolate.
Okay. Similar question, Addison. Any particular food group you're looking forward to devouring once states wraps up?
Pretzels or sweets.
Sweets. And are we talking like pretzels with ranch? Are we talking about like the soft serve pretzels that are with cheese? What are we talking about there?
Uh, any kind of pretzels with, yeah, with anything.
Okay. Scout, same question.
I'm looking forward to my carbonated drinks, and I just miss my Sprite.
Final thing for me, just what's are you guys when it comes to wrestling, what have you taken with you that you've kind of learned on the mat that you take with you outside of the mat, whether it's from your coaching staff, from Jake and company, whether it's from other wrestlers? What's something that you've kind of taken from the mat that you use with you in the classroom or just day-to-day life? I'll start with you, Scout, on this one.
I just like uh even though like if it's like um like even though you have to like um one thing like even though like if you're like if you're like your mind is like on something like hard And then like wrestling just helps like erase it, and like it like proves that you can do anything. And I know that if I can wrestle, I can do other things in real world life.
Addison?
I try to stay happy all the time, try to cheer up people. It helps me a lot to cheer up people when they're feeling down. So, yeah.
And for you, Maddie?
It just like kept me pushing myself never to give up and to keep going for what you want.
Hey guys, thanks so much for your time and best of luck at state.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Join us here is Violet and Veda with us, part of the state wrestling preview show for the Lisbon Broncos. Let's start with Violet here. Violet, just take us through what it means for you to be part of the state first team that's making it to state in dual history here.
It's pretty cool, especially coming from Lisbon, a smaller team, and being one of the first girl sports to make it to state in a really long time. So,
For you, Violet, just take us through the emotions of what that Saturday was like going to beat South Border twice, finding your way to finish third at the East Region Dual Tournament. Once you knew that you were going to state, just take us through kind of some of your emotions knowing you had another, a tournament here with this group this season.
it was lots of high energy, a lot of anxiety. But at the end, when we knew that we had that last duel, that was pretty crazy. We all got up and we're jumping around, and it was really cool. It was very exciting.
Similar question for you, Veda, here. Just what does it mean to be part of the first dual team making its way to the Fargo Dome?
I think that it's pretty amazing. And like, I think we've definitely worked really hard from like our first couple years. Like, I'm just really glad that we finally made it.
Take us through, Veda. What are you most looking forward to once you get to the Dome that Saturday morning? I know the duels are the last thing of the tournament, but what are you most looking forward to once you kind of get to that Saturday morning here at State?
Um, I'd say I'm most looking forward to like all the energy that everyone's gonna bring like on the team and like from the crowd. I feel like that's just gonna make the duel better because then we're all hyped up and stuff. Yeah.
For you, Violet, just take us through your wrestling journey. How long have you been a wrestler and what kind of got you into the sport?
This is my first year wrestling, actually. Joined kind of late. Um, yeah, I guess I saw all my friends doing it, and I thought, let's just try it. Something new.
So for the first year that you've done it, why should someone kind of go give wrestling a try like you kind of did here?
I think it's just kind of like any other sport. Just try it, see if you like it. There's so many benefits. You get in really good shape. You are just surrounded by a good community of people, and it's just so rewarding. Wrestling is, and I love the individual aspect and the team aspect of it too. So,
For you, Veda, similar question. How long have you been a wrestler and what kind of got you into the sport there?
This is my third year wrestling, and I got into wrestling because I didn't really want to do basketball anymore. And then I saw everyone's like, oh, there's like a wrestling team now, and all my friends were like joining it. I'm like, I don't want to do this, but then they were like, just try it. So then I did, and I'm glad I chose this over basketball. So.
Why should someone, give wrestling a try just kind of through your particular experiences? What would be a good reason they should try in Lisbon or any other school district that there's kids out there giving wrestling an opportunity?
Um, you don't really know what you like until like you try it. Just like yeah, just like with any other sport, like you might think that you're gonna hate it, and then like you try it, and then you just love doing it.
Uh,
So
Violet, you kind of mentioned too the individual and dual side. Is there one that you enjoy more? Is it, the individual tournaments or do you enjoy the dual tournaments a little bit more from your point of view?
I really do like a good mix of both, but I'm gonna have to say dual, just because it's a lot easier to be there for your teammates and watch. Individuals kind of get crazy, and there's so many different people on different mats. I love dual because we're all together as a team and can watch everybody.
Same question for you here, Veda. Which one do you enjoy more?
I like both, but I'd say I like duels more. They're just like more fun to be at, I guess. And you get to watch all your teammates wrestle and you get to be there to support them. I think, yeah.
For you, Veda, what's something you learned from Jake, the coaching staff, that you kind of take with you outside of the wrestling mat? What's one thing that you've kind of learned from them that you kind of use in your day-to-day lifestyle?
Just trying your hardest, even like when you don't think you can try anymore, you still got something left.
Same thing for you, Violet. Same question.
Oh boy. I'd say probably never giving up and doing what you think you can't do.
Is there a particular subject in school that you guys like a little bit more so than the others? Violet, we'll start with you on this one. Any particular favorite subject?
Your particular favorite subject? Probably chemistry. I really do like that.
Okay, Veda.
Probably psychology or art. Yeah.
Okay, last question for me. I know it's always a fun one to kind of ask some wrestlers, because your diets change in season and out of season a little bit. So, for you, Veda, is there a particular food group or a certain carbonated beverage that you maybe don't touch or don't you kind of, linger around during the season that you're looking forward to once they kind of wrapping up to devour, so to speak?
Oh boy. Probably a whole bunch of sugar. Like I really want a big donut.
That'll work. Violet, how about for you?
Ice cream. A
Ice
big tub of ice cream.
Awesome. Ice cream and donuts. What can go wrong? Thanks, guys, so much, and best of luck at state.
Thank you.
Ella Sandow joining us here with the Lisbon Bronco wrestling team. Ella, what does it mean for you to be part of this Lisbon Bronco squad that's making its way to state for the first time in dual history here?
I think it's really exciting, and I think that it makes the team feel like we accomplished a lot this year, and I think we all have grown together, and we not rely on each other, but we know what our strengths are and how to help each other when we're down. So
What are you most looking forward to once you get to that Saturday morning at the Fargodome to open up the quarterfinals?
I think, well, I'm excited to win, I guess, but I think I'm team wise, I think we're most excited to have this as our first time, because last year we didn't make it or whatever, but this year I think we'll do pretty good because we all I think have grown and we're all stronger now and we know what we're doing. So
For you, Ella, I guess, what is something about wrestling, your journey just into it? Just take us through how long you've been a wrestler and kind of how did you get into the program?
this is my third year wrestling, and I don't really know. I think I kind of just got shoved into it because our coach Revier is one of my teachers. He was like, Ella, I think you'd be really good at it. So he kind of just pushed me into it. And my brother, my older brother's our assistant coach now. So I feel like that helps me a lot. So
How much is it part of the family? You mentioned your older brother being your assistant coach. How much are you guys talking wrestling throughout the course of a year, week, or day to day?
um I don't really know. He kind of just helps me improve what I'm doing. If I'm I ask a lot of questions at practice, I think a little too many, but I always ask for help. So having him there or whatever helps me understand if I don't get something, he knows how to teach me, I guess.
For you, Ella, just kind of why should someone give wrestling an opportunity? What would be a reason they should go out for Lisbon or their particular, school where they're competing at or having a chance to?
I think it's a really fun sport, and you get to meet new people, you get to build your mental toughness, you get to become stronger, and you get more opportunities open up to you, I guess, and you get to have a little more fun, and yeah, I think it's just an overall really good sport to join because it's adaptive, kind of.
Is there a particular tournament that you enjoy more competing at than others, or one that you kind of circle on the schedule?
Probably Bella the Brawl, which is kind of a pre-regions kind of thing, because I think I did pretty well. I placed fifth, but I beat four people, so I think I did pretty good there. So
When it comes to superstitions, are you superstitious at all when it comes to wrestling? Do you have to do something before a match or before a tournament?
um, I take something random. I just take 3 deep breaths with my headgear and cover my ears so I don't have to listen to anything, so then I can just get ready for my match. But usually no, I kind of just talk before my match and then I just go in there. So
Final thing for me, Ella, before we let you go here, favorite subject in school, what kind of stands out so more so than the others?
I think my favorite like I have two favorites. I think anatomy and consumer are my favorites, but I think I like anatomy more because like I'm probably gonna go that way towards like my future anyway. So
Ella, thanks so much for your time and best of luck once you get to the Fargo Dome.
thank you.
Presley Johnson now joining us here from the Lisbon Bronco wrestling team. Presley, what does it mean to be part of the first team in program history to make it to state on the dual side here?
It's really nice, and it shows that like even though this team has just started a couple years ago, we've still made it really far than sports that have been in our school for longer.
Yeah, you've been able to find your way to that final day of the state tournament with the duels. What are you most looking forward to once you get to the Fargo Dome?
Just watching all the girls wrestle.
From here, is there a particular wrestling tournament that you've enjoyed the most competing at? Is it individuals or duels? What's one or two that kind of stands out?
One of the tournaments I really liked was when Lisbon hosted a dual tournament over Christmas break. I really liked that.
So are you more of a fan of the dual side then, or more of a fan of the individual side? Which one do you like and why here, Presley?
I like the dual tournaments more because they make me feel like we're all more like connected, I guess, if that kind of makes sense.
Take us through a trader characteristic. What's something that best describes this year's Lisbon Bronco wrestling team? What's something that describes it when people ask you about Lisbon wrestling?
It's very energetic and very cheerful.
From here, a favorite class would be what? What's one of your two favorite classes?
One of my favorite classes is definitely like the art class we have in Lisbon.
And then take us through one or two of your favorite wrestling memories. What's one or two that kind of just jump off the page?
I like it when we get to stay overnight for tournaments and then we get to like have fun as teammates and grow closer.
Presley, if someone asks you why you should join, a wrestling program, whether it's in Lisbon or maybe in their respective school district, why should someone give wrestling a try?
I think that you should try wrestling because it makes you like closer to people that you wouldn't usually hang out with.
Hey, Presley, thanks so much for your time and best of luck at state.
Yes, thank you.
Aurora now joining us here from the Lisbon Broncos girls wrestling team. Aurora, just what does it mean for you to be part of that first dual team that's making it to, a state tournament here in North Dakota?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm really proud to be a part of this team. It's a good experience.
What was it like going through the particular dual East Regional in Grand Forks? You had to wrestle South Border twice. You found a way to win and take third place. Just take us through what that weekend kind of meant to you, but more importantly, just kind of the experience that you saw yourself and your teammates kind of go through.
Yeah, so we went into it with a really positive attitude. I think I can speak for the whole team when I say that none of us really had a time where we thought we're not going to make it to state. We went in there with the goal of making it to state, and we achieved that.
For this particular team, what's a trader characteristic that best describes this year's team? I know there's a lot of juniors, and you go through a bevy of underclassmen, but what's something that you best like about this year's squad?
I think accountability is a really good word for that. We're always making sure we're doing what we're supposed to in practice and outside of practice and all that.
Aurora, take us through your wrestling journey. Just how long have you been a wrestler and kind of how'd you get into the program?
I started wrestling my freshman year, so I've been wrestling for 3 years now. And my freshman year, everybody kind of just told me to like get involved when you're in high school, and so I was just joining a bunch of things, and I found my way into girls wrestling.
So why should someone give it a try? What's some of your experiences when someone says, why should I give wrestling a shot?
Well, first of all, it's really fun, and it's a good team to be a part of. And I also like that there's like an individual side and there's a team side.
Going after that, that's a good follow-up question. Are you more of a dual fan of wrestling? You more like the individuals? I know it's still kind of individual as yourself in terms of how you want to perform, but which side of the wrestler mentality do you kind of enjoy more? Is it individual weekends or dual weekends?
I really like individuals. I kind of like, it's a little bit longer, but I like the breaks between, and you kind of just get to do your own thing and get hyped for all your matches.
Particular move that you like to set up? Is there one in particular that's more so than the other that you like to throw out on your opponents?
My favorite move since my freshman year has been a cradle. I try to go for that whenever I can.
What are you most looking forward to getting to that Saturday morning, your quarterfinal round matchup? What are you most looking forward to see how you and your team can perform once you get to that state dual tournament?
I'm really excited to kind of show everybody what girls wrestling is, show them how far we've come in the last couple of years here, and yeah.
What have you taken from wrestling that you kind of use with you in your day-to-day life? What are some experiences or things that you've learned here?
Yeah, one thing I've learned is that, I can do hard things. It might seem hard, but it's really just getting over that mentality that it's hard.
Final thing, favorite class would be what? What's something you've enjoyed most learning about in Lisbon down there?
My favorite class is definitely Spanish because it's applicable in, outside of school.
Awesome. Thanks, Aurora, for your time.
Thank you.
Join us here is Emersyn Schwab, part of the Lisbon Bronco State Wrestling team on the dual side. Emersyn, just what does it mean to be part of the first team in Bronco history here? I know girls wrestling isn't like it's been around for 30 years, so to speak, compared to the boys side, but still you got to start somewhere. But what does it mean to be part of that first dual team that's heading to state?
I think it's pretty amazing. I've been on the team through all of the years, and getting to state this year with all of our girls it's amazing. And I don't know, it's pretty fun.
Take us through what is one particular thing that stands out about this year's team? What's a trait that you really like about this year's squad?
I really like how everyone is very close together, and we're definitely a family. This team, we haven't lost many people, so we've been together for most of the years, and we've grown closer, and we're always just there for each other and supporting each other. And I think that's the best part about this team.
What have you kind of learned from Jake, the coaching staff in general, that you take with you on the mat, but also you take with you just part of your, day-to-day lifestyle?
That basically anything can happen in a match and anything can happen in life. So you just got to take what's given to you and make the best out of it.
Take us through your wrestling journey. How long have you been a wrestler, and what kind of made you want to, go out for the program?
I've been a wrestler since my 7th grade year, so I think it's been about 4 or 5 years. And I really wanted to go out for wrestling because both my brothers do it. And so my older brother, he went to college kind of for it and stuff. And so my family's been big in wrestling, and I was like, oh, I want to try it and stuff. And I really loved it. And so that's how I got started.
Yeah, they say with wrestling, sometimes once it gets in your blood, it's tough to get out of the blood, so to speak. And with wrestling, Emersyn, how much does it get talked about just in day-to-day conversation with you and your family, your friends? How much are you talking, wrestling throughout the course of the year?
I think almost every conversation I have at home, it's about wrestling. There's always something wrestling in that conversation.
Why should someone give wrestling a try in their local school district or come out there for the Lisbon program?
I think it'd be a good thing to try if for getting to get closer with people, being a part of a team. And also wrestling's definitely a mental sport. And if you can get through that, you can get through a lot of things. And so just wrestling itself is it's just good for a person. I don't know.
When it comes to the particular tournaments, whether it's individuals or duels, is there one or two that you've really enjoyed competing at, or one that you kind of circled here over the last couple of years when you get to see it on the schedule?
I really like wrestling at the Rumble on the Red, just being in the Fargo Dome again and seeing all of the teams from Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota, and just people you've never seen before. That's really fun to wrestle there. And it's fun to wrestle in the big dome. So
final question for myself here, Emersyn, kind of an interesting one because your diets obviously change a little bit in season and out of season. So once the season wraps up, is there a particular food group, a particular soda? What are you most looking forward to, devouring, so to speak, once state gets done?
So it's kind of a tradition. My family goes to Osaka's and we eat hibachi and all that stuff right after wrestling. So I'm so excited to go and get that.
Going to be a lot of fun. Emersyn, congratulations on state and best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Nevaeh Buffett joined us here, part of the Lisbon Broncos state dual wrestling team that's heading to the Fargo Dome. And Nevaeh, what does it mean to be part of that first team in program history that's making its way to the Dome on the dual side?
Honestly, it's exciting. I feel very accomplished with my team, knowing that we actually did something. And last year, we kind of did not make it, and we were really upset. And we came out of there having a big goal, saying next year we will make it. It's not no, oh, we might, we will. So it's pretty exciting.
For you here, Nevaeh, what are you most looking forward to once you get to that Saturday morning to open up the state dual tournament?
I'm really hoping or excited to see what we accomplish and like seeing all the other big, good schools, seeing like what I can work on while watching them wrestle, and just excited to see my team there wrestling.
Take us through your wrestling journey. How long have you been a wrestler, and what kind of got you into the sport?
I've been wrestling now for a year. My last year was my first year. I kind of got into wrestling after some teammates kind of encouraged me to come out, and I came to like our pre wrestling team thing, and I tried it and I thought it was really fun. I was like, oh, maybe I'm into this. I like this because I have two older brothers. I always wrestle with them. I always like we always are wrestling. So I was like, you know what? I'll try it.
Why should someone give wrestling a sport? Give wrestling a try as a sport. Why should someone give this an opportunity?
I think it gives you guys like it gives you your self-confidence you need. It's a really good sport if you want to get in shape. Also, we have a really lot of fun on the mat. We have like games before we start like warming up or something. And honestly, we just have really, really fun times.
What have you learned from the coaching staff that you kind of take with you outside of wrestling into school or just your normal day-to-day walk of life?
That you are a student before you are an athlete.
That's a good wise words right there from any particular coach. Nevaeh, for you, favorite subject in school, what would that kind of be?
Definitely not math.
Definitely not anything.
I would say English most likely. I really like that and I'm really good at it.
For you, is it more individual? Is it more dual? What set of wrestling do you enjoy most? And I guess what particular tournament do you enjoy most competing at?
I would say the individual side, just because you're like some duels you can't wrestle because they probably don't have your weight class. And at individuals, you are in the bracket with other people. And at individuals, you like lose some and win some. And then you can go back and look at your film and be like, oh, what did I do wrong? And then next time improve that and work on it in practice. My favorite tournament was probably the Bemidji. I got first place there, which was really hard. I had to go into overtime twice, but I believed in myself and I had confidence, and that's a major thing that I've been working on lately. So I would say the Bemidji one.
Final thing for me, Nevaeh, it's always fun to ask wrestlers this questions. I've asked a couple of your teammates this because your diet changes obviously a little bit in season to out of season. So once the state tournament is all said and done, is there any particular food group that you're looking to enjoy or like a soda or some type of juice? What are you most looking forward to devouring, so to speak?
Probably some Chick-fil-A and some Dr. Pepper. I haven't had those things in a while.
I like it. Dr. Pepper is my favorite too. Nevaeh, thanks so much for your time and best of luck at state.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Ava and Alexis now join us here, part of the Lisbon State Wrestling Preview Show. Ava, let's start with you. Just what does it mean to be part of the first dual team in history, albeit it's fairly new for girls wrestling, but what does it mean to still be part of that first dual team that's making it to state?
It feels like surreal. I can't believe that we're like the first like girls team to go to state in like over 15 years. It's just insane.
For you, Ava, too, just take us through a trait or characteristic that best describes this year's version of Lisbon wrestling. What do you like most about this year's club this season?
It's it's very, very energetic and lively, and there's just so much energy in this room, like at all times.
Alexis, similar question that we started with. Ava, just what does it mean to be part of this program this year, making its way to state on the dual perspective?
It feels absolutely amazing. I love dual tournaments in general because it's always nice to have your team cheering you on and just being there to cheer on your teammates.
Take us through that Saturday a little bit, Alexis. When you knew that you're heading to state, what was kind of the emotion like, and what was kind of the mat like, knowing that, hey, we're heading to state?
The beginning of our last duel was a little scary, but I was very confident in our team. I knew that we would be able to pull it off. And when we did, all I can remember is just screaming, jumping, hugging. It was awesome.
Ava, what are you most looking forward to once you kind of get to that Fargo Dome on that Saturday morning to wrap up the state tournament?
I'm looking forward to just wrestling teams that we don't normally wrestle during the season and getting just like more experience with different girls.
Is there a particular tournament throughout the course of the year, Ava, whether it's individuals or whether it's a dual tournament that you like wrestling in or competing in more so than other ones?
I'd say our Storehog tournament or the Belle of the Brawl up in Castleton. Those ones are pretty fun.
What makes those two kind of stand out to the other ones that you compete at?
They're just
I don't know. They're just really fun.
For you, Alexis, similar question. What's one particular tournament, whether it's individual or duels, that you look forward to?
Our store hog this year, definitely. That one was really fun because we had all like our families could all come to that one. So it was nice knowing that we had a big section to cheer for us.
Alexis, take us through your wrestling journey. Just how long you've been a wrestler and what made you kind of go out for the program?
So this is my second year in wrestling, and I almost didn't do it, but I had a great role model, Ava, and she was like, hey, you should totally try wrestling. It'd be super fun, and I think you'd be good at it. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I've been doing it 2 years. I love it, and I hope that I can continue doing it outside of high school.
Same thing for you here, Ava. Just kind of take us through your wrestling journey a little bit.
This is my third year of wrestling. I really got started because just of pure curiosity and just I wanted to try something new, and I ended up loving it a lot, and I definitely will be doing it outside of high school.
Why should someone give wrestling a try in their local town, their local school district? We'll start with Ava on this one. Why should someone, give wrestling a try?
Just for the experience, honestly, and there's so many memories you can make so many new friends from like different schools. It keeps you in really good shape. It's really fun.
Alexis, same question to you.
I would definitely encourage it. Like, it keeps you in shape. The bonds that you make at like a wrestling tournament and even with your teammates, it's strong and it's amazing.
Superstitious at all? Are either of you having to like put the left shoe on before the right shoe before you get to a match? Or do you have to listen to a certain song or music or do anything? Alexis, we'll start with you on this one. Anything comes to superstition when it comes to wrestling?
I mean, I don't really have any superstitions, but if I had to pick something, it would probably be before every single match I put my ankle band on and I look at the wall, take a deep breath, and then come to the circle. I have to do it every time.
Ava, anything come to mind?
Yeah. So usually when I'm like on deck about to go up and wrestle, I have Reinke or one of my other teammates slap my back really hard, and then I like slap my legs and my arms, then I go out.
Okay. Favorite subject in school would be what? What's something you really enjoy learning about or having an opportunity? Ava, we'll start with you on this one.
I really enjoy my band class, and I'd say my anatomy class is pretty fun.
Okay. Alexis?
Spanish, for sure, is my favorite class.
Hey, guys, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck once you get to state.
Thank you.
Join us here is Melina and Jozzie, part of the Lisbon Broncos State dual wrestling team as they make their way to the Fargo Dome coming up here. And Melina, let's start with you here first. Just what does it mean to be part of the first team in program history? I know girls wrestling is fairly new across the state, but still a first is a first regardless. To make it as a dual team to the state tournament, what does it mean for you?
It feels really good to make it as a team and be together with everyone and actually be able to have our name known as for that.
Take us through what was Grand Forks like. You had to go up against a rival in South Border, a couple times to punch your ticket, but what was it like once you knew that as a team you accomplished a goal, which was to get to that state tournament?
It was really exciting that we had to wrestle more than like South Border twice, and we almost lost, but we pushed through it and got everything and did it.
Jozzie, similar question. Just what does it mean for you to be part of this team that's making its way to state for the first time in program history?
It makes me really happy, proud of everybody. And I don't know.
As you get ready, what are you most looking forward to getting to wrestle at the Fargo Dome here, Jozzie?
Pretty happy and pretty scared.
Melina, when it comes to just some particular tournaments, what's one of your favorite tournaments that you've wrestled in the past, and what makes it a special tournament, whether it might be the girls Letterman or something that you've done, in the past?
I would have to say the Store Hog tournament, just because it was a home tournament and we all did really good at that tournament.
Yeah, is it a little special to wrestle at home compared to going to, a Napoleon or going to Fargo or Grand Forks? How special is that to, have a good tournament at home?
Oh, yeah. Home tournaments are way better because we get every Lisbon people there, everyone cheering for us, and yeah.
Jozzie, same question for you. Just what's a favorite wrestling tournament that you've competed in?
Probably Central Cass.
Belle of the Brawl, what did you like best about that?
Uh, I got to hang out with teammates, friends, and family.
Melina, take us through your particular wrestling journey. Just how did you kind of get into the sport and how long you been a wrestler here?
Well, I've been a wrestler here for 2 years, and one of my friends also is here, and we all just been hanging out, and then she convinced me to join wrestling. So, yeah.
Take us through why someone should be a wrestler. Why should they give it a shot?
It's really fun. You get to talk to everyone. You get to meet new friends all over the place, and yeah.
Jozzie, how long have you kind of been into wrestling here, or how long have you been a wrestler?
I kind of started when I was born because my dad was my PE coach, so I really kind of had no choice to do it. And I was like, once I started stepping on the mat a couple times, I was like, I'm not gonna quit doing this. This is really fun. So
Why should someone become a wrestler, Jozzie? I know you've kind of done it since birth, so to speak, but why should someone give it a shot?
because you get a new opportunity of doing things, and yeah, you get to meet new friends, go places that you haven't been to. Yeah.
As we continue here, just a couple more questions. Biggest thing that we'll start with Jozzie on this one. Biggest thing that you've kind of taken with you off the mat. What have you learned about yourself that you kind of used outside of the wrestling mat? Is it confidence? Is it just being ability to talk with more people and network? Just take us through what you've learned on the mat that you kind of take with you on your normal, school day or 8 to 5 day.
That I can be myself. I can do really anything. I put my mind to be confident in myself. Anything really.
Same question.
It's technically just confidence and know that I can do everything else outside of the mat itself and accomplish goals. And
All right, final thing. Favorite class would be what? What's your guys' favorite class when it comes to Lisbon? What's one thing that you really enjoy learning about and learning about?
I would have to do agriculture.
Egg, okay.
Geography or math.
Perfect. Guys, thanks so much and best of luck once you get to the Fargo Dome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Cora Oster joined us here, part of the Lisbon Bronco wrestling team that's making its way to the state tournament. Cora, what does it mean for you to be part of a squad that's making its way to state for the first time in program history here on the dual side?
It means a lot. It means that we've worked hard, that we've pushed through every obstacle that's come to us, and we're doing great with it.
What are you most looking forward to as a wrestler once you get to that Saturday morning competing on the dual side?
I'm just excited to get to be part of that first team to ever be there from Lisbon. I'm excited to get to wrestle, just the experience in general.
For the particulars when it comes to this team, Cora, what's a trait or characteristic? What's something that you really like about this year's Lisbon Bronco wrestling team?
We always try to do our best. We always keep trying. There's a lot of energy in the room, even when we're all tired. We keep pushing.
And for you, Cora, are you more a fan of duels or are you more a fan of individuals? Which one do you kind of like more a little bit when it comes to the tournaments?
I like duels more because you get to your whole team gets to wrestle as an individual, but it also comes down to you working as a team.
Is there a particular dual tournament that you really enjoyed competing at this year?
I liked the dual tournament that we hosted, and then we went to one in Bemidji, and that one was good too.
What kind of did you enjoy most about those two dual tournaments that are a little bit different from the other ones that you compete in throughout the course of the year?
They were different. It was more of an uplifting setting. Everybody was having fun. It was a good time.
For you, Cora, just favorite subject in school, what would that kind of be?
I have an online vet class.
Okay. And then from there, how long have you been a wrestler and kind of what got you into the program?
I've been wrestling for 3 years, and what got me into the program was my cousin. She started doing it, and it looked like so much fun. It looked like something I would definitely be interested in, so I tried it, and now I'm here.
Why should someone give wrestling a try?
The wrestling is not
a team. It's based on how you do, but it can also come down to a team. If you put in the effort, you're going to get that effort back.
Final thing for me, is there any superstitions when it comes to wrestling for you here, Cora? Do you have to put the left shoe on before the right, or listen to a certain, song before you get on the mat? Anything when it comes to superstitions?
I either have to give my sister or one of my coaches a really hard high five, and then I'm ready to go.
Hey, Cora, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck once you get to the Dome.
Okay, thank you.
Lyla Gillespie joining us here, part of the Lisbon Broncos dual wrestling team that's heading to state. Lyla, similar question that I've asked some of your fellow teammates to start with. Just what does it mean to be that first team in school history that's making it to the dual portion of the state tournament?
For me, it just means like progress. Like I was on the very first team, like I was there the very first year, so I've been here the whole time. So it's kind of means a lot to be able to show like we are improving and we're kind of becoming very respected in the state.
What was it like Saturday knowing that you're heading to state? Take us through the emotions in Grand Forks, knowing that, hey, you had to work for it. You had to beat South Border twice. But once you knew that, hey, we took third, we're making our way to the Fargo Dome, what was kind of your emotions at that particular juncture?
I wouldn't say I was super surprised. Like I knew our team was good enough to get there. So I wouldn't say I was super surprised, but it just felt good to have the confirmation that, yay, we're good. I don't know.
For you, Lyla, what's a trait about this year's team that you really like? Again, the sport and the program is just continuing to evolve every year. But what's something that you really like about this year's squad with the Broncos?
So I'd say this year we haven't really had too many seniors graduate. So it's kind of just been adding on top of each other every single year. So I think we have some experience, and I'd say we're pretty hardworking. I'd say that.
From there, what are you most looking forward to once you kind of get to the Fargo Dome here? What's something that you're really looking forward to with that state dual tournament?
I'm looking forward to maybe seeing people we don't see super often, and I don't know, it's just a fun environment. It's different than your just average high school gym, so I'm excited for that.
What got you into wrestling here, Lyla? Just kind of take us through your journey, and how long, again, have you been with the program?
So I've been with the program from the very first year, and I got into it because my sister wanted to do wrestling when it was her senior year. So she's like, you should really come to practice with me. And I'm like, okay, I'll go to one practice. And I just guess I've gone to all the practices since.
Why should someone give wrestling a try without maybe your older sister pushing you into the sport?
I'd say it's a great team. Like, it's hard to wrestle without a teammate. There's not a lot you can do without a teammate. So it really pushes that teamness. And, it's a hardworking sport, so you're going to get that too. Maybe scary sometimes, but it's good. Yeah.
Is there a particular tournament that you most look forward to now that you've done this a couple of years? Is it a team duel? Is it an individual tournament? What's one that you kind of circle on the schedule every year?
I really like team duels, like especially dual tournaments, just because it's nice to just be able to see all your teammates right on one mat. Boom, 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 boom. I like that aspect of it.
How fun was it to host a dual tournament there over the holidays and get to see some different teams from across the state, but also Minnesota, and see some different faces that you might not see, every weekend?
Yeah, that was really fun. I like duals tournament. It's nice to see, different people so you can get a little bit different, feel for different wrestling. And since it was at home, that was really nice too. I got to sleep in a little bit.
Final thing for me, Lyla, here, just favorite subject in school. What's one thing you really enjoyed learning about so far this year or in prior years?
I really I'd say either my facts classes, my family and consumer sciences classes. I like doing all the stuff that involves family and consumer sciences. And I don't know, maybe math. I feel like that's an unpopular opinion, but I kind of like math.
Hey, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck once you get to state.
Thank you.
Coach Revier here now joining us for the Lisbon Broncos, part of our state wrestling preview show. And Jake, similar question that I talked with all the student athletes to compete in, which was first time, in program history, albeit it's not like, girls wrestling has been around for 30, 40 years, but still it's an accomplishment regardless the first time you're able to do something to get to state. What does it mean to see the work they put in and accomplished it in Grand Forks as you're making your way to the Fargo Dome on the dual side?
It's just been so exciting, so fun these last 4 years that we've been going here. not only in our room but across the state. Each year the kind of standard and level has gone up and up and up, and we've done a pretty solid job of getting a good roster size here. I think I checked a few weeks ago or so. We're about the 10th, tied for 10th largest roster in the state, the largest for the traditional Class B schools. So I think that really kind of certainly helps having numbers in the room. We have a lot of tough girls, so everyone's got solid partners that they can go with every single day to push themselves, and then with them, then they're all getting better, and it's kind of a perpetual cycle.
From there, just take us through what Grand Forks that particular weekend, what was, and obviously you had to go through South Border twice to eventually, punch your ticket. But just take us through the emotions from a coaching staff of what that dual tournament was for you here, Jake.
It was a lot of fun, really. We just wrestled South Border a few weeks back and kind of had a poor, really, I think we would say our poorest performance of the season. So we were excited to get that one back. To start the tournament off there. And then obviously wrestling Central Cass second round, we knew that was kind of a tall ladder to climb, but we competed well. The girls came ready to go. We had probably our best week of practice really ever last week. Their kind of energy and excitement was up, and not that we certainly didn't let it get to be too big of a moment or anything. So they're prepared and excited, but kind of status quo as far as what our stuff looks like, and kind of getting ready and all that kind of stuff. And then we wrestled PCN, and they have some tough girls as well. We wrestled tough. We were able to win a couple of the swing matches and kind of really open it up from there. That not punch our ticket technically quite say. Then we kind of took care of business again against South Border in the third place match. Wrestled them pretty much the same as the first round there. One match this time was a decision instead of a fall, but they got a lot of tough girls there too. A few open weights, so that certainly helped us. But they got some tough girls, and just, again, really all competitive matches throughout the day tournament, and kind of things just fell our way, and kind of what we were expecting to do. Kind of talked to the girls afterwards. They asked if I was excited, and I said yeah, absolutely, but it's kind of what we expected. So not too high, because this is what we've been working for, training for, and kind of planning on doing. So
when you get to a state now and you get time to prepare for an opponent, is it more self-scout? Is it, hey, we're taking a look at what something the opponent might do in Minot, for example, once you get to Saturday morning? Jake, how do you kind of use that? As every sport's a little bit different when it comes to, watching film, and how do you watch film, and how do you do stuff in a certain way? So are you using a lot of that, or is it more, let's just worry about us and worry about the things that, you can kind of control as a team?
Kind of a little bit of both, but mostly just focusing on ourselves. If we over scout and over analyze someone, usually in wrestling, if person X is, say, good in the underhook, and we train all week to counter that, well, that's what they do every single day. If we spend a week on it, we aren't gonna beat them in their best position if we only spend a week on it. So we really kind of focus on doing our stuff and getting to our stuff, and some matchups dependent if we can see if we can bump some stuff around. But we finally at regions is the first time that we've had a full dual lineup before, but that's the first time that we haven't had to bump anyone around. So we're pretty much set in what we do, and just go get ready and kind of do our thing and get to our stuff. Don't let kind of what they do deter what we do. Take what's there and wrestle our style our way.
How big was it this year having the experience, looking at the roster? There's just a ton of juniors, a good chunk of underclassmen, but obviously there's wrestlers that have been in that program from day one or a couple of years here. Jake, how big was that on the dual side this season to get to where you are, which is, heading to that state tournament?
I think it was pretty much everything between the experience in the room and the dual experience this season. I think I could be wrong, but I think we've had the most duels in the state on the girls side this year with 18 so far. So kind of been there and done that, and know what it feels like, know what it looks like, know what we got to do to prepare and to go through a tournament. We've done a couple dual tournaments this season. We hosted one over Christmas break, and then we went out to Bemidji for one. So we kind of know what it looks like and felt like. And then, we have a bunch of experience, relative experience, right? Most of them are still a few years into the sport, but we got two girls, Emersyn Schwab and Lyla Gillespie, who've been here since the first year. Emersyn actually got her 100th win at the region dual tournament here, which is first in program history, first of many, hopefully. So it's been between those couple that have been here for a while, and the upperclassmen, they kind of steer the boat or whatever in the right direction. That kind of, even if they haven't been in the sport too long, they know how to work, they know how to lead, and they know how to kind of uplift each other and really make it one big family.
That's the nice thing about a new sport. You get someone that can have different accomplishments and talk about Emersyn Schwab. Just what does it mean to have someone reach that milestone in the program, with that over 100 career wins?
It's exciting. It's kind of, again, something that we plan on and expect for a lot of our girls here, especially as they start coming out in 7th and 8th grade or coming through the youth programs or whatever. But it's great to have someone that's been around, had a lot of success, and can set the tone for what we're trying to do, and be kind of pretty consistent, and really not a whole lot of thought process. To me, okay, when she's wrestling, it's usually, okay, this is going to go probably pretty well. We don't have to overanalyze things, and as long as she's wrestling, she can wrestle. She's going to beat pretty much anyone. So,
final thing for me, Jake, what's something that you like about this particular group this year as you make your way to the Fargo Dome? What maybe stands out more so this year than other years? Is it that experience? Is it just the simple fact that we've heard from the girls that you get to have a good time, but then it's you get down to business when you need to get down to business? What maybe just stands out more so this year than the previous couple of years that you've been a coach down there?
Kind of really most of them kind of buying in and falling in love with the sport. It's always been a great group to work with, and every season, especially with those returners, again, the standard just kind of keeps creeping up. So it's been kind of, again, this group's pretty much the same as we had last year. So as far as the personnel and stuff, it's pretty much the same, but again, kind of one big family, really. Again, we work hard, but we play and have some fun and goof around as well. Wrestling's a hard, brutal sport, so you got to have time to have fun during your training, because otherwise it's going to be a long, grueling season, especially during winter in North Dakota when it's dark when you get to school and it's dark when you leave practice. So definitely try to find some time to have fun, whether it's games for warm-ups or just kind of random dance breaks or something like that, or bus rides, and kind of just really fun group.
Hey, Jake, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations again on making it to state on the dual set, and best of luck here throughout the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
We've got Grayson Lyons here with me for the Lisbon Broncos here on our state preview show and your live event. Josh Boyko joined by Grayson Lyons. And Grayson, walk us through how your season has been so far and what you're looking forward to at state.
It's been pretty good. Besides, cutting weight, that's probably the biggest struggle of going forward through everything. Just the process of not eating and trying to make weight for every weigh in. That's probably been the hardest. But my teammates have been pushing me through, and they've been getting by, and I'm working off, trying to get to where we want to be, and so just trying to finish in a good spot.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the confidence level like as you roll into the state week? What's the confidence level like as you get ready for the biggest time of the year?
Honestly, I'm pretty hyped. Just, I guess I didn't get seated where I wanted to be. I honestly didn't get seated, but that doesn't really matter. You just got to go out and do your job. You gotta it is what it is, and I guess I'm pretty fine where I'm at. Just gotta study what I gotta do and try my best.
Absolutely. What has been a lesson that you've been able to gather throughout this year, just about the game of wrestling, and how does that apply to life? Like, what have you been able to learn from this sport?
I don't know. Just to be, it's kind of I don't know how to word it, I guess. You got to really be, it helps you in everyday life by just knowing where you have to be in life. Discipline, like for cutting, it really disciplines you just of who you are. I guess that's kind of all I got, discipline.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of your teammates have been saying that, so Yeah, discipline definitely something that you can take from wrestling into the real world for sure. And how about the coaching staff that you've got here with Coach Lacina and everyone else here on the Lisbon program? How have they helped you out along the way?
Just by like staying after practice, showing me what I can do, what I can get better at. That's definitely helped me the most. They target like me, just they watch. Well, I guess they don't target me, but they watch me a lot, and they just like I said, after practice, they help me out, and that's probably the most. And after matches, they come up to me and say, "Hey, you need to work on this. I think you can get better at this." That's probably the most they've helped out me. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about top memories for you finishing up junior year here? What have been some of the top moments here that you've been able to share with your teammates over your time as a wrestler?
Bus rides, them are always really fun, I guess. Just, yapping with everyone. Hotels, just getting together and, it's kind of screwing around, I guess you could say. I guess after dual hangouts with the buds.
Yeah, for sure. Good stuff. And taking it off the mat here or pre-match. So what are you listening to? What are you doing pre-match to get in the zone as you head into state?
I guess listen to some rap music if I prefer that. Focusing on just mindset, calming myself down, just getting a good warm up in. Just basic, really stuff, stretching all, and that gets me going good.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Last question here. Top rappers. Who are the artists on your playlist right there?
Oh God, I don't know. Kanye West. He's probably up there. Oh God. I don't know. That's probably just one of the top ones there.
There you go. So. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Grayson. Best of luck upcoming at state here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's Grayson Lyons here of Lisbon Wrestling on your live event for the State Wrestling Preview Show. Got Madden Schwab with me here on the Lisbon Broncos State Wrestling Preview Show. And Madden Schwab, as a freshman, you've just qualified for the state tournament. So how does it feel having locked yourself into state here as an underclassman?
Feels pretty good, I guess.
Feels pretty good indeed. And take us through how your season's been so far. What have been the highs and the ups and downs? What have you enjoyed so far about this freshman year?
Well, my season's been pretty short. My ups, I don't know, making it to state. My downs, just losing matches I shouldn't have. Maybe not qualifying for state as a team. Started off my season pretty slow with an arm injury, but got right back into it.
Have you noticed any improvements or adjustments that you've had to make throughout the year that has gotten you into the state tournament?
I feel like just going quicker and knowing what my moves are going to be has got me pretty far.
Yeah. And what have been some of your favorite memories here as a wrestler for the Broncos in general, whether this year or in years past? What have been some of your favorite moments?
My favorite moment is probably just watching my brother, his third place match a couple years back. He hit a big move on a kid he should have been beaten the rest of the year, but that's about it. Making it to state last year as a team. So.
Definitely. And how nice is it to have an older brother, you said, that's been able to kind of mentor you a little bit, and how nice is it to have a sibling that's gone through the same experience you have?
It's pretty amazing. I got a sister too who's done the same thing, and they've helped a lot.
Would you say they've been pretty big inspirations that have gotten you to the point you're at in your wrestling career right now?
Yes, I feel like they have.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are you looking forward to most about getting to wrestle at state for the second time? What is the part you're looking forward to most about stepping on the mat this coming Thursday?
Just getting to my stuff right away, hopefully placing. Just getting to the second day, hopefully.
Absolutely. And talk about how the coaches have helped improve this team, the culture, your skills. How has Coach Rich and everyone else involved in that program helped you benefit along the way in your wrestling career?
Coaches overall, they've just been a gem to our team. They've helped. They've given us moves that we needed that we didn't know before. If someone didn't have their practice partner, they'd step in and help, and they really helped me improve on my moves.
Absolutely. And who are some of the teammates that you've been able to get closer to and get to know more over this wrestling season?
Mainly just Eli Lyons and our assistant coach, Avery Dick.
Definitely. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on the mat here this upcoming week at State. So best of luck and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
That's Madden Schwab on the Lisbon Broncos State Preview Wrestling Show. I've got Griffin Greenley, the junior, here with me from the Lisbon Broncos wrestling team. And Griffin, take us through how your year has been wrestling-wise and just some of your highlights so far.
This year it's been pretty good. I've been feeling all right. I feel like most of the year I've been pretty sick, but nothing too terrible. Felt all right. I've made it to, I think, all the tournaments. I've only missed a couple matches so far. And not too many highlights this year, but hopefully we can make some at State. Nothing too crazy yet. So hopefully we can make some this year at State.
Absolutely. And are you feeling confident, feeling healthy and prepared for State this year? Are you feeling good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, most of the year I feel like I've been sick, and I think I'm finally getting over that, and I've been feeling pretty healthy, and I think I'm going into State with the right mindset and mentally getting stronger than I was at the beginning of the season, having high hopes for the State tournament. So,
yeah. How much is being better mentally prepared and just physically too at this point? How is that going to benefit you at State compared to where you were at earlier this year?
Yeah, wrestling, is just pretty much a whole mental game. You can be in the best physical shape, but if you're not mentally right and you go into the match thinking you're going to lose, you're most likely going to lose. So I'm in pretty decent shape, and with the right mindset that I'm in, hopefully I can make it farther than I would have at the beginning of the season with, I think I'm ready all around going into State. So.
Yeah, good to hear.
Yeah.
What have been some of the adjustments you've made over the season to progress your game to where it is right now?
I think I've been watching a lot more film, knowing what my opponent, what he's gonna do and what he likes to do, and trying to fix my diet. Having a good diet, I think, is really, really helpful, and having a good diet, I think, helps with my mental on the season, and knowing that I'm giving my body the right stuff, knowing that I'm going to go into a tournament feeling good. I think I have a lot higher chance of performing better than if I wasn't.
Yeah. What have been some of the highlights, whether this year or years past for you, that you've been able to enjoy with your teammates?
I think one of my favorite was my 8th grade year when I wrestled Trenton Klatt in the dual finals at State, and I lost to him twice. I got pinned by him the day prior in the individuals, and I beat him by, I think it was by a point, to help secure the duel against New Salem. And coming off the mat and the whole team giving me a hug and patting me on the back and slapping me, that was really fun. That was one of my biggest highlights for sure.
Yeah, awesome moment right there.
Yeah.
Who have been some of the teammates that you've gotten close with over this season, over your years with Lisbon so far? Who have you gotten close to?
I've gotten closer with everyone, but this year, definitely Cruz Reinke. I've gotten pretty close with him since I've been practicing with him every day. At the start of the season, I was practicing with Grayson. And the years prior, I practiced with Cashton. Since 7th grade, I've been practicing with Cashton. I think he was a big key to my success and my ongoing, hopefully, success. He's been a lot of help pushing me every day, and just him always being older and stronger. He just always pushed the pace every day. He was 130% made me a lot better. So I got really close with him, hanging out with him after practice and before. So yeah, definitely Cash.
Yeah. And you and Cruz, didn't you guys just get to a milestone of 100 wins
Yeah,
recently?
yeah, we did. Got it the same this last weekend, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, definitely. Cool moment to share with your teammate right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
how has Coach Rich just helped you along the way? What is something you've been able to take away from the game of wrestling, or something that he's been able to show you over your time with Lisbon?
He's he's always showed me that doesn't matter what happens. He says have mindset like a goldfish. Every 10 seconds, their mind resets. So every match, whether you win or lose, doesn't matter. Just go on to the next match. Completely erase mind, move on to the next. Don't hang up on anything. And the time that we have up here in high school is limited, and always don't don't take anything for granted, and never not go 100%, because you're going to look back one day and you're going to say, I wish I went harder. But for the kids that went 110% all the time, they never say that they wish they would have went harder. But so yeah, definitely go hard 24/7, and yeah, move on, have a good mindset, don't get hung up on anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And your coach bragged about you before he just got off here. So he was telling about the leadership skills that you and some others have, just being around the other teammates on this team. So how important is it to be a good example for some of the younger guys on this team?
It's definitely a big part of the team, and I didn't realize that so much until probably eighth grade year, practicing with Cash. He was one of those upper dogs, and he made everyone around him better, and that showed me that I should come into practice every day trying to make everyone around me better, because that's just, we're a team. We're not. It is an individual sport at some point, but there's also duels, and how your teammates do. That's gonna kind of correlate to you. You see your teammate doing good, and then you're all hyped up and you want to do good, and so yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of off the mat here, getting to know you here. So, are there any playlists or any pregame rituals you've got, superstitions before you hit the mat, or are you just focused, locked in before you take the mat?
Uh, I'd say I always have to have comfortable underwear. That's one of my biggest. I always have to have comfortable underwear. I've got to feel good. If something's bothering me, I've got to have my right shoes. So I've got my main pair of shoes. If I don't have the right underwear and the right shoes, I just go into the match feeling a little uncomfortable, unnatural. That's about. I always got to listen to music. Really doesn't matter what kind of music. I can listen to girly music, like rock, doesn't matter. Just got to have music. So,
Yeah, for sure. And as you take the mat here for state coming up, what are you looking forward to most about being able to put a stamp on this season? Hopefully, in a good note that can maybe make you forget about the sickness or injuries of the past or earlier in this year.
I'm hoping I can get somewhere on the podium, coming into the tournament unseeded, which is whatever. I think I've got really tough bracket, but go out there and do what I know I can. Hopefully I can get somewhere high up on the podium. I would definitely put a nice stamp on the season, knowing I'm going into the tournament unseeded and proving everyone wrong.
All right. Well, we are certainly looking forward to watching you do it here coming up on Thursday. So best of luck and thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
Got Gavin Robertson joining me here from the Lisbon Broncos wrestling team. And Gavin, junior year here, how has it been for you? What have been some of your highs for the season?
Some of my highs include winning the Grafton Holiday Tournament, placing at East West, placing fifth, and just making varsity for my first year.
Very cool. And making varsity for your first year, and you've made it into the state tournament now. So how exciting is it to be able to step out on that mat now, coming up this week after getting up to the varsity level and now building up to this moment?
It's really exciting to be able to go out there and show everybody what I've worked hard on and to continue on the Bronco legacy of dominance in the state tournament.
There you go, keeping on the legacy. I love it. Who have been some of the inspirations for you to get into wrestling, and then some of your teammates maybe that have helped you along the way?
Some of my inspirations are my older brothers, Gavin Reinke, Dalton Reinke, Silas Reinke, and Caden Reinke, and they all wrestled before me, and all my friends wrestle, and I just love the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what have been some of your favorite moments that you've been able to share with teammates over the years here at Lisbon for wrestling?
Last year, the region dual final came down to a close one, and one of my best friends was able to win the match and win it for Lisbon, and that was a great memory. And staying in the hotels overnight with the boys, it's always great memories.
Yeah, definitely. How about Coach Rich? What has he been to this program in general, and how has he helped you along, and what lessons has he taught you over your years here?
He's big on believing in yourself and believing in your training and everything that you've worked for, and knowing that you've worked harder than your opponent. So you just have to go out there and take what you've earned.
Yeah, absolutely. And off the mats here, or when you're about to step on it, what are some of what gets you pumped up for stepping onto the mat? Do you have any playlists that you got to listen to? Do you have any pregame rituals or anything like that, superstitious wise?
Like listening to divorced dad rock, and older 80s rock, stuff like that. Nothing too superstitious though.
Yeah, for sure. And are you looking forward to being able to just put a stamp on this year of wrestling for you at the state level? What are you looking forward to most about the opportunity that you have this week?
I look forward to trying to place in my first state tournament and just finish the year off with a good taste in my mouth.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we are certainly looking forward to it, and that's coming up here this Thursday through Saturday. So, best of luck as you go into that match, and best of luck in placing. Thanks for joining me.
Yep, thank you.
Got Noah Anderson with me here on the Lisbon Broncos State Wrestling Preview Show here on your live event. Josh Boyko here as well. And Noah, what have been some of your highs this year? What have been some of the fun moments that you've been able to enjoy in your junior year season?
I've enjoyed making it to the finals and all the tournaments I've made it to, just being on the mat.
Yeah, for sure. And you were able to place, and you won, right? This last week in the individuals, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So definitely coming in with some momentum. How is winning last week play into this upcoming week at state?
Just got me just motivated, pumped up, ready to see what I can do at state.
Yeah, definitely. What's the excitement level around the atmosphere at state that you're gonna be able to get? Because big event, lots of people watching. What's the excitement in being able to participate in an event like that?
No, it's pretty exciting, but in the end of the day, you just gotta focus on your match, and that's just how you keep moving forward.
For sure. And what have been some of your favorite memories that you've been able to enjoy as a Bronco in the wrestling program so far?
My favorite's probably been making it to the finals my freshman year. There's been a couple others, but that's probably my top.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And how about the coaching staff for you this year? Like, what have they been able to instill in you? What are some lessons you've been able to gather from the sport of wrestling in general?
I'd say that you can always just work harder and yeah, pretty much just keep working and you'll get where you want to be.
Who have been some of the teammates that you've been able to get close with while you've been in this wrestling program?
I've been close with a lot of them, but the ones that are here are Gavin, Eli, Griffin, Cruz, the younger one coming up. I've been connected with them.
And what are some things that we should know about Noah Anderson? Do you got any playlists or songs that you listen to before you get into the mat, or what's pre-match look like for Noah?
Um, I do listen to some music. I like rock. Um, I always like to pray usually before every single match. It's kind of a thing I do. That's pretty much all I do.
Yeah. And with praying, like what kind of comfort does that bring to you as you're able to take the take the mat after praying for a bit?
Just makes me feel like God's with me, and I can I can use that. I can use that on the mat. Makes me just as strong as anybody.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And how did you end up getting into wrestling? Have you been into wrestling for a really long time, or were you a recent join? What got you into the sport?
When I started wrestling, I was about 5 or 6 years old. I wanted a toy, and my dad said only if I went to a wrestling tournament. And ever since, I've just been wrestling.
Well, do you think it was a good decision? You got the toy out of it, and now you've got
Yeah.
a state appearance too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Well, we are certainly looking forward to seeing you on the mats here this upcoming week. So best of luck and thanks for joining me, Noah.
Yep. Thank you.
And welcome back to the Lisbon Broncos State Wrestling Preview here on your live event. Josh Boyka with you, joined by Eli Lyons Jr. at Lisbon. And Eli, what has been some of your favorite moments from this season that you've been able to enjoy?
This season, just winning a few tournaments and getting to wrestle some good competition from Class A and enjoying moments with all my teammates.
What is that competition level like in Class A? Like, how stiff is that competition week in and week out that you've got to face?
It's good to know I can leave it all out there. Don't have to worry about wrestling them later, and that if I lose there, it really won't matter for any seedings or anything or any rankings, and just go out there and have fun and wrestle as hard as I can.
Yeah, certainly going to be a fun time at state, I assume. So, what are you looking forward to this upcoming time at state? Like, what do you have to prove out there? What are you looking forward to getting on the mat and doing?
I'm just looking to go out there and wrestle best I can and know for myself that I wrestled the best that I could, to the best of my ability.
Yeah. And what have been some of the improvements that you've been able to make this season to get you to this level of state play?
I think I've gotten a lot better on my feet, being able to shoot from both sides pretty good, being able to take down pretty much everybody.
Awesome. And how has the coaching staff helped you along this year? What are some takeaways of the sport of wrestling in general that the coaching staff has been able to help you see?
I guess they all just, always believe in you. Make sure you can do anything. Doesn't matter. As long as you go out there and try, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. How did you end up getting into wrestling? Were you in it from a super young age? Did you join later on? What was the inspiration to getting into the sport?
I guess I didn't start right away. I started in first grade, I think. And I guess my dad did, my brother did, so I guess I kind of just followed along with them.
Talk about the support of your dad and your brother being able to help you along, and having seen them also go along this path. How has that helped you?
It's helped me a lot to know that I have people at home that I can talk to about it, and they can give me pointers too and let me know what I'm doing wrong, doing right.
Yeah, for sure. And over your entire time with Lisbon Wrestling, what have been some of your favorite moments, whether it's the bus rides or the tournaments themselves? What have been some of your top moments?
I'd say just going to all the tournaments with them and just being in the locker room with everybody and on the bus and everything.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, we're certainly looking forward to seeing you guys perform at state. So best of luck and thanks for joining me, Eli.
Thank you.
Got Brock Lyons with me here on the Lisbon Broncos state wrestling preview here on your live event. Brock, thanks for joining me. How has your season been so far? Take me through some of the highs of this junior year for you.
Been pretty good. Been placing at most tournaments. Got third at East West is probably my biggest achievement so far.
Yeah, very nice. And you're able to make it into that 215 class for state. What are you looking forward to coming up here at state? What are you looking forward to proving that out on the mat?
Really hoping to place. I was seeded 8th, so if I could place, that'd be really nice.
Yeah, definitely. And you're getting to go out onto to the state stage and platform. What is it like being in that environment right there? And you think you're going to be nervous, or you think you're going to be pretty locked in once the time comes?
I think I'll be pretty locked in. Really make everything pay off there.
Yeah, definitely. And what are some improvements that you think you've been able to make throughout this year that's propelled you to a place to potentially place at state?
Definitely my mindset. During the match, I'm more prepared. I know what I'm doing before the match. I'm warmed up and everything. So just being prepared, and during the match, my mindset's better.
Yeah. How has the coaching staff helped you along with mindset or moves in general? Like, how have they been able to make you the best wrestler you can be?
A lot. All of our coaches are very skilled in the sport and know a lot about it. Like Lacina, he's been around for so long and done so much, and everyone really knows what they're doing, I guess. So help us all out.
Yeah. How has team culture been this year and just that team dynamic that you get to share a lot of time together? Who have you bonded with? What have been some fun moments?
Really, every day is a fun moment. We're always here an hour before practice, and we all mop together, and then we'll play like spike ball, just chat, and we're all pretty close in age. A lot of juniors on the team, and then I also have a couple cousins. So, yeah, pretty easy to make memories. So that's nice.
Yeah. What got you into the sport of wrestling here? So were you early age joiner, or did you join later? What has been your background and inspiration to get into the sport?
I was in wrestling in like really early elementary and then quit. But then my oldest brother went out his senior year and then ended up winning state. And my second older brother, the middle guy, he wrestled all through high school with the oldest. And so my freshman year, I started wrestling and gonna keep it going.
Yeah, what has it been like having that the family connection to the sport and just having people that have been there, done that, and have that legacy to help you through?
Pretty nice. They're always watching my matches and then talking to me about afterward or before and telling me about it and telling me how to prepare and things to improve on. So that's always nice.
What has been something that wrestling has taught you about life in general that you've been able to gather?
When you work so hard at something, when you're there, you shouldn't worry about what you get, because if you worked hard enough, you should earn it.
Absolutely. And now you have the chance to go earn it at state. So what's the excitement level as you prepare to take that biggest platform of the year?
Pretty high, hoping to finish on a high note and do well there.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you, Brock, for joining me, and good luck.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, I've got Aiden Hinkle here with me on the Lisbon Broncos State Wrestling Preview Show. Josh Boyko with you, as I said, joined by Aiden Hinkle. Aiden, how's your season been to this point? What have been some of the highlights for you?
It's gone pretty good. Number 3 seed at state right now, so looking to make a run at the finals.
Yeah, how did last week go for you in that class, and did it roll over any momentum, do you think, to state for you this upcoming week?
I got third, had a tough loss against Brett Tasted, but head up from here.
Absolutely. And Talk about the coaching staff that you've got here at Lisbon. How have they helped you become a better wrestler, better leader for this team?
Uh, we got a couple state finalist coaches, and they just tell me to keep my composure and give me tips as I'm going through the brackets, and pretty much just helping me out.
Yeah, definitely. What are some improvements that you think you've been able to make over this year or throughout your high school journey in general that you'll be able to put on display for one final time as a senior?
Well, I've only been wrestling for like 2 years, 2.5 years, and so I've improved a good amount on my whole wrestling, I guess, as a whole. But yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned only have been in wrestling for a couple years now. So what's the story of what got you into the sport as kind of a late bloomer?
Well, I was a basketball player, and then our old heavyweight Grant Lyons, he kind of convinced me to come out, and then I was an alternate my first year, and then last year I got on the podium, and this year I'm looking to make that run to the finals.
Absolutely. How big would it be just to get to that moment of making it to the finals and improving on where you were last year?
Yeah, it'd be pretty exciting. I've didn't think I'd come this far really, but I have thanks to my coaches and teammates.
Yeah, definitely. What have been some of your favorite moments as a wrestler, whether it's the trips with the team on the bus or the hotel stays or anything like that? What have been some of your favorite moments as a wrestler for Lisbon?
Yeah, the hotel stays are usually pretty fun, and long bus rides, they can be pretty fun too. And like region duels last year was pretty fun with coming down to the last match to win it, which is pretty exciting. And I was a state champ 2 years ago, which was also pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, who have been some of the teammates that you've grown closest to throughout your journey here as a Bronco?
Well, it's kind of different every year because I was kind of friends with the upperclassmen when I was younger, and but it's good. It's pretty fun. I'm the only senior, so it's fun to hang out with the younger guys and get to know people that I don't talk to as much in school.
Definitely. And how much is it meant to this team with having you as the senior to look up to? How have you been able to be a leader and kind of help out some of the kids that are younger who, or maybe that have joined later that were in the same shoes that you were a few years ago?
Yeah, kids they sometimes they have a tough loss, and I think it means a lot when I tell them, hey, keep your head up and just get back to work. It doesn't matter until state, and it's about this time of the year that you gotta focus up and yeah.
Definitely. Well, we're very much looking forward to seeing you out there on the mat. So thanks for joining me and good luck this week, Aiden.
Yep, thank you.
I've got Cruz Reinke here with me of the Lisbon Broncos here on the Lisbon State Preview Show for wrestling here on your live event. Josh Boyk with you, joined by Cruz Reinke. And Cruz, how has your season been here, your freshman year? How has that gone for you? What have been some of the highs?
I think I've had a pretty good year right away. Got to face a lot of Class A kids, see some different competition. That helped me wrestle better against kids in my division. I feel like this postseason.
Yeah, definitely. And how do you feel last week went with that third place that you obviously want to win, of course, but did it build any confidence for you going into this state tournament?
Yeah, it definitely did because that kid was ranked in the state and getting my 100 wins. I feel like that'll motivate me to do good at state.
Yeah, definitely. Talk about that milestone. You got that 100th win, and I believe was it Griffin that shared that 100th win with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool moment that you guys were able to share together there. So congratulations on 100 wins, first off. But transitioning here to something else. So, what is something that wrestling has been able to teach you? What has the game been able to teach you about life or wrestling in general?
I think it just teaches me to never quit. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good lesson to take away right there for sure.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff, how have they been able to help you improve, whether it's on the floor or off the floor? So, talk about the coaching staff that you've got here at Lisbon.
I think it helps having a few returning wrestlers that were some state placers, some state champs. They know what they're talking about. And then we have our head coach, Lacina. He's a good guy. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Who have been some teammates that you've been able to connect with more throughout this wrestling season? Who have you gotten to know and you've enjoyed wrestling with?
I would say my favorites are probably Noah Anderson, like Gavin Robertson.
Yeah.
I usually get to hang with them at the hotel, so
There you go. Would you say that's been maybe one of your top moments throughout wrestling, just enjoying those team trips?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What is it like seeing state ahead of you now that you've qualified for that? And what is the opportunity that you see in front of you to go grab?
Hopefully make a run for the finals. I know it'll be tough since I'm on the top side, but you never know.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're looking forward to it. So thank you for joining me, and best of luck this week at state.
Thank you.
I've got Rich Lacina here with me for the Lisbon Broncos wrestling program. And Coach, how has your season been as we preview this state tournament coming up? You've got some qualifiers. How's the season gone for the Broncos?
The season's been a good season. We've had some ups and downs, but the boys, they battled hard all year long. So pretty proud of the effort they put in and happy with that. You don't achieve every goal we wanted. We wanted to get that dual team in. We came up a little short there, but in spite of that, we think of it as a blessing in disguise. That means we're just attacking that one side, and hopefully we get after it, even just a little bit harder. So
there you go. What are some accomplishments that you're proud of this team here? Some of the performances that you saw this last week that were able to qualify in for state?
Gavin Robertson had never qualified for state before. He's a junior for us. This is his first year on varsity. He wasn't even varsity at the start of the year. Seeing him qualify for state, always high. Those kids, that blood round is the best of times and the worst of times. That round where you win and you go to state, you lose and you go home. When they win, there's nothing as exciting as watching that kid smile and jump up and down and be so happy to me. And then, unfortunately, we had a few kids on the other side that they were in that blood round and came up one match short. And man, your heart just sinks because you know what they wanted to do, what their goal was. So, just seeing those first timers to get through there. All the boys. I mean, you're just happy for them. We always say if you get in the dance, there's always a chance. So you got to get in the state tournament. We got 9 of them in. So we're pretty excited to see what they can do there this weekend.
Absolutely. What do you think this team has to prove once they hit the mat this upcoming week?
To me, they don't have to prove anything. They've proved it all year. They work hard. They're great kids. They're just fun people to be around. I enjoy it. I get to come up here. They pay me to come up here and blow a whistle and talk to the kids, and it's fun. So for me, they don't have to prove anything for themselves. I just want them to go out and do the best they can. I always tell them, if you guys wrestle your butts off, you wrestle as hard as you can, win or lose, there's nothing to hang our heads on. We'll come off and we'll be all right, and we'll be ready for the next one. So like I said, they don't have to prove anything to me. I think they want to go out and prove to the state that they're still around and want to make a little bit of noise, and hopefully they climb up that podium. Love to see a few of them get all the way to the top, but I just love to see them get on that podium and get their names on the banner for state placers.
Awesome. And how fun is it being able to coach this team? What are the joys that you get and rewards that you get on the coaching side of being able to be with this team?
Every year is its own story, but you just get to see, from last year to this year, the maturity that these kids do, the way they become. I always say, you start off coaching kids and they leave you, they're men by the end. That's the fun thing. Seeing them become good people, seeing them become, better students, seeing them put the time in, just to improve not just the wrestling part, but just seeing them become a family. They're friends. They're up here and they're dyeing their hair different colors and one shaving their head, and they're all. I mean, just seeing them become these close knit group of kids that care about each other and want what's best for they want each other to win more than they want to win for themselves. It's kind of it's a joy to be a part of. I'm glad, I've got my own son, eighth grade. He just missed her this year, an eighth grader, but he got to be a part of something like that. And I think that's a pretty special thing that wrestling does. It just creates a culture all to itself.
Yeah, what type of privilege is it like having the guys that just naturally do that and bond together and have that really good team culture? How much of a joy is it to work with that?
I don't know how we get so lucky. It's so much fun to see, and I'm sure some people see something maybe negative that happens, but they don't see how that kid, comes back and adjusted and how they try to become better. Like I said, on and off the mat. It's just fun to be a part of. You have so much pride in what they do and what they become. There's nothing better. It's the best job there is. So.
What is it going to be like seeing some of these kids step on the state mat for the first time and just seeing that moment where they get to step on that mat in such a high leverage moment?
We always bring up the old line from Hoosiers, where he measures the basketball hoop and it's 10 feet. I think you'll see it's 10 foot back home too, as we tell them. The wrestling mats there's more of them. It's a bigger stand, but it's still the same thing as wrestling here in Lisbon. The shoulders will still go flat. You're still, the circle's the same size. Just go out and cut her loose and pretend you're at home. So luckily we've been in the duels a lot in the years past. So most of the kids have been in the dome, if not wrestled in the dome. They've been a part of teams that have wrestled at that. So that'll be hopefully an advantage for the boys. But it's, like I said, it's always, they got to go in there and they're looking at it. Their nerves will be on edge, so we got to try to calm them down and remind them, like, it's just wrestling. It's still just wrestling. So
who of your wrestlers have you seen kind of take a leadership position in kind of being mentors towards some of the underclassmen on this team?
We've got a bunch of them. Aiden Hinkle's our only senior. And as a kid that really didn't wrestle until a junior, watching him come in, how hard he works. He's, number 3 seed in the state right now, seeing a kid that came in last year with little to no wrestling background do that. And then the way that he took he's the heavyweight. So all the little guys, our 106 pounder thought Aiden hung the moon, or 107, I guess it is now, old man here. But, the way they took to him. Eli Lyons is just a great, great leader, wrestles all the boys, works with them, always positive. Give Griffin Greenley a shout out. At the start of the year, he wasn't in football. We set up a wrestling mat to have open mats after school, and he would lead an open mat and have kids over there and wrestling and trying to get better and get ready for the year. Noah Anderson, the way that he's handled himself this year on the mat, off the mat, everything he's done. I could just go on, like you're asking me. There are so many great leaders that are here, and we'll miss Hehn next year. We're glad we got him for this week. But those juniors, that class with Noah, Griff, Grayson, Lyons, Brock, I mean, it's a herd of Broncos right there, and they're just good kids.
Absolutely. What are you looking forward to most this week, and how has the preparation gone for team wide, do you think?
So, I think everybody in the state, talking at the coaches last weekend, and that we're all kind of crossing our fingers, just hoping everyone's healthy. There's been some nasty flus going around, things like that. So I just hope for everyone in the state. I just want everybody healthy, to have a great weekend. I'm excited to see our boys go, to see what they're capable of. I know what I think they're capable of. I hope they go out there and just show what they can do, wrestle their best, wrestle their hardest, and just cut it loose and have some fun with it. Because this is it. There's no very old kind of cliche, but there is no tomorrow. Might as well throw it all out on the mat today. So this week we'll lighten up a little bit, just try to make sure we're healthy and hopefully be primed up for Thursday morning. So
awesome. Well, we are so looking forward to seeing that go down. And Coach, good luck, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us. Thanks for always doing the coverage for wrestling and Broncos. I sure appreciate you guys. It means a lot. So have a great night.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach.